Now, before we start this video, I quickly want to say, the result that you will get from the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra or any other device that you install this on, which I wouldn't necessarily advise, is not going to be the same as you would get on the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. It's different hardware, different sensors inside as well, so it's not gonna be comparable. This software is not made for these devices. At the end, it will act more like a filter than something that is really integrated with the phone itself in a way that Xiaomi intended to do with, of course, the Xiaomi 12S series. So, with that being said, let's continue with the video. So, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra, a phone that I really want to get my hands on, but sadly, so far it seems to be an impossibility, especially if you want to get it via Xiaomi themselves. But, of course, I do have the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. Now, one thing that I really wanted to test out when it comes to, of course, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra is the collaboration between Xiaomi and, of course, Leica. Now, the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra does share a lot of similarities when it comes to the hardware. However, of course, there is a difference. Now, the main thing is that the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra doesn't have the same 1-inch sensor size. It has a 1/1 3-inch sensor size, if I'm correct. But with that also being said, there are, of course, some work collaborations between Leica. And that does mean that there are some limitations on what you can do with the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra comparing it to, of course, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. Now, with that being said, there is an option to actually get the filters that you see on the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. So with that being said, why not install that new camera app that we see on the Xiaomi 12S Ultra and see how it functions on the Mi 11 Ultra. Seeing how, of course, in terms of hardware, it shares quite a lot of similarities between the two. And yeah, I'm curious to see what the result is, especially with those filters. You have some natural filters, for instance, and of course, some beautiful black and white filters as well. So I'm very curious how it will perform. Because while the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra doesn't have the same crazy sensor size for, of course, the main sensor, it definitely still has very capable hardware. So let's see how the camera performs after that update for the camera itself. So let's talk a little bit about the filter on, of course, this camera app and the results that I'm getting. Again, I really like the results that I'm getting from, of course, this camera app. But I really want to bring it home that this is not going to be reflecting on what you will get on the Xiaomi 12S Ultra, for instance, the beast, of course, from the 12S series. This is going to be more of a filter effect, and you can tell somewhat that this is the case. With that being said, I do really like the ability to play around with the camera. This is one of the things that I truly love with the Vivo X80 Pro. Those filters on there are really good. Having this on the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra also brings more of that feeling of me allowing to play with the camera, giving a certain style, a certain look to the camera itself. I really like the ability to simply play around with it a little bit more, giving that feeling of different times, for instance, with buildings that we have in my city. Those buildings look older and I really want to play around with the filters that I can get on this phone. And therefore, I think the filters themselves still look really good on the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. So therefore, I also really want to check out, of course, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra, because I can imagine that that will even get a better result because it's properly integrated for the phone itself. This again is not. But nonetheless, I am really enjoying my time playing around with these kinds of settings, giving a look of a different feel, giving this film filter, for instance, and then just playing around with the vividness. And also I really want to bring home that, for instance, this natural filter. Greens, for instance, are a real struggle for mobile phones. They often look too bright, too saturated, and so on. Having that natural filter on there definitely allows the image to look more clear, cleaner, and the greens having a different look to them, more how I am seeing it. This is something that really makes me enjoy this filter as well. Again though, it's not gonna be the result that you would get from the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. But nonetheless, I am enjoying my time. I also want to bring home that apparently Xiaomi doesn't really want you to have this app because, well, it makes sense. It doesn't reflect what you will get in reality with, of course, the Xiaomi 12S series. Therefore, of course, they don't want you to put it on a different phone that isn't made to have this kind of filter on there. And therefore, I will not put a link in the description for, of course, having this camera up on your phone itself. I feel like it doesn't do it justice as much as it would on, of course, the Xiaomi 12S series. Nonetheless, it is something where I feel like now I can play with the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra when it comes to the camera itself. Something that I truly enjoy. Something that I love about, for instance, the Vivo X80 Pro. So, how is the experience? Now, straight from the get-go, we'll have to say that of course this is not a one-to-one comparison. One comes naturally with of course the software, and of course there is some hardware difference as well. For instance, that one in sensor size that I talked about before. But with that being said, I do think that the images that are coming out of it, especially using those filters, are actually quite nice. I do like the filter options that you have with it, and overall the camera result is still really good. Is this something that you can take a note of and see, hey, how is the Xiaomi 12S Ultra? No, not really, honestly, because it isn't the same hardware. But overall, at the end, I think it looks good, it looks solid, and I do like the option to actually use this filter and use that camera app that you can get on, of course, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. So, Xiaomi, send over the Xiaomi 12S Ultra so I can compare the two. Would be nice. Yeah, it's really hard to get your hands on that one. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment below on what you think about the results that I got out of the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra, which is still one of my favorite devices, though I really want to test out the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. Anyway, have a good one, and talk to you guys in the next.